Well, there's a smoking gun that the DOJ, the Department of Justice, needs to fire on Donald Trump, legally speaking, and needs to fire it now. This is from rawstory.com. Busted. DOJ has evidence that the Trump campaign knew there was no election fraud. This article, in fact, this entire situation blows up the Donald Trump defense that there was voter fraud, and that's why he did January 6th. And more to the point, that's why he did the phone calls, the Brad Raffensperger screaming for votes, and for him to find more votes. Anyway, here's the article. Before Donald Trump made his infamous phone call to Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, imploring him to find votes that would help him secure the state's electoral votes in the 2020 presidential election, the now former president's own campaign staff has created a report that showed there was little to no evidence of voter fraud in the state. Worse for Trump, according to the Washington Post, the DOJ, Department of Justice, obtained a copy of the internal document a month ago as part of its January 6th insurrection investigation. While the president was complaining that there is widespread election tampering in Georgia, the report commissioned by his own campaign painted an entirely different story. According to the Washington Post, Dulcie, the Post obtained the secret report that which showed that, quoting, research paid by Trump's team had high confidence of only 9 dead voters in Fulton County, defined as ballots that may have been cast by someone else in the name of the deceased person. They believed that there was potential statewide exposure of 23 such votes across the Peach State, or not 4,977 less than the minimum Trump claimed, unquote. The Trump report also noted that they also found little evidence of voter fraud in Nevada, another state where the former president also contested the results after losing to President Biden. The Post is reporting the internal report is in the hands of the DOJ as part of the investigation into January 6th. According to Dulcie, the Project 2020 report conducted by the Berkeley Research Group and a team of scientists have now been obtained by prosecutors investigating the January 2021 attack on the U.S. Capitol. A copy was received by the Washington Post, and it shows that Trump's own campaign paid more than $600,000 for research that undercut many of his most explosive claims. The research was never made public. The report added that the Justice Department has sought and obtained multiple reports, emails, and interviews from witnesses that show the campaign officials analyzing and often discrediting claims that Trump was making policy, according to several people involved in the investigation who, like some others, spoke on the condition of anonymity to disclose internal details. The Berkeley report was provided to the Justice Department earlier this month. One of the people said after some people involved in its crafting received a subpoena. So it's all too obvious at this point. The defense of Donald Trump not knowing full well that it was a lie, knowing that the election fraud claims were a lie, was just exposed by his own campaign's hand. His own campaign knew there was no voter fraud. So, what is going to be the defense of Donald Trump at this point? What, you going to say you didn't know about the research? You paid $600,000 to do the research. So, aligned with this and the phone calls that Donald Trump made to Brad Raffensperger, his ass is going to prison. At the very least, his ass is never going to set foot in the White House ever again. Sorry, Trump. Now, you may escape indictment in New York City. You might. But your ass is not getting away with what happened in Georgia. Your voice is on that phone call, and we have evidence of the fact that you knew it was a lie. So, what's your defense going to be this time, Trump? CTP Know The Truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.